sandals on the way I'm sliding up. I won't join no gang cause I speak truth and I ain't slime enough. I can't kill my brothers, we the same, it's just not adding up. Esau he a killer, genocide he keeps attracting us. Most I say be fruitful, multiply so we be adding up. Compare his seed to the sand of the sea, we deep so you can't add us up. My people they got hate inside they heart, they wanna paint us up. Grew up in a red zone, blood tears, I see red flags on us. This world be killing me with lies the way they capping on me. Like these publicans, they coons and seeing the way they taxing on me. Prove what you say, the evidence, show me the facts, lil' homie. Don't hold your tongue, just bring it out, what's on your mind, lil' brody? Riding on 4 Giottos, bougie, how we sip Moscato. Feast days of the Lord, champagne be rainy poncho. Salvation of the Lord's people, come on, we need that pronto. Wisdom, yes it bring riches like we just won the lotto. Keep these commandments in the faith, my brother, that's the motto. Most high humble you quick, boy, if you think you macho. Israel we poor, but we rich in spirit.
Yes, Charlotte. Come, yes, Charlotte. Right, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High for another Sabbath. Right, another day to magnify the so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans and bring back the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right, let's get Matthew chapter 12 and verse number 10. Let's get Matthew 12 and 10, and let's get Matthew 18 and verse number 12. So our whole job is to come out and to seal the elect. Right, because you so-called black and Hispanics, y'all lost in the sauce. Hey, brother, come here. 2 seconds. You said what, brother? You an Israelite. Alright, let's read this.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 10. Right? And it reads, and behold, there was a man which had his hand withered, and they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on this Sabbath day?
And that's what we doing spiritually. How you doing, family? Hey, brother, real quick. Hey, brother, real quick. You see yourself on the sign?
Say it one more time.
You see yourself on the sign, your so-called race? If you do, you'll be God's chosen people. Alright, where you see yourself in?
Black, American black.
So-called American black, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. You believe in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
You do believe in the Bible? You went to church and all that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, that's cool. Now,
you gotta take it for what you believe.
You said what?
Take it for what you believe.
Do you believe in the Bible or the God? It's two different ones.
I believe in King James third and the first and third.
Right.
Okay.
We pretty hip over here.
You said y'all hip?
Yeah, we pretty hip.
Alright, so did you know that it's a big thing going around coming out how the so-called blacks, the American blacks, like you see on that sign, it's been a big thing going around that the blacks are the real Jews. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
What you know about that?
We watch a lot of, what is that, that hidden color stuff, and it spoke about that on there, yeah.
That's right, so let's get Romans 3 and 1. So in the Bible is the book we read about the Jews. In school, they're not going to teach you that, the Jews are black and, Black History Month, all they talking about is black people and the Jews. You're not going to read about that. So the only place you do read about the Jews is where? The Bible.
You ain't gonna read about our history nowhere, for real, brothers.
Except for where? But again, remember, our history is us being the Jews. Where's the only place you read about the Jews?
Who wrote the Bible, though?
Wait, sister, real quick. Where's the only place you read about the Jews?
You said the Bible, but who wrote that?
No, so now I can answer that question, but first I want you to answer my question.
I just said the Bible, like you just said.
All right, so the Bible. So you would agree that the Bible is black history, then, right?
I believe that it's black history that's been patented a little bit, meaning that it's our history, but it's been in there to kind of manipulate us. So it's our history, but it's a little bit of the lie too. You got to learn how to read in between the lines.
Now I'm gonna show you that that's not true. I'm gonna show you that this book. Let's get Psalms chapter 12 verse 6. I'm gonna show you that this book is actually pure words. It hasn't been tainted nor changed. I'm gonna show you. Hold on, sister.
I'm listening. Look, I got a concert to go to.
That's good. But first you gotta get the word first.
I didn't get the word.
And this for you. All right, let's read this.
It's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
So this book is of no private interpretation. No man has went in here, changed things, and put their own input on it. This book is of no private interpretation. Read on.
Verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
So man didn't put his own input on the Bible, but whose will?
But holy men of God.
What?
But holy men of God.
Holy men. Your ancestors, the Jews, as we were going into, who you admitted were your ancestors, the holy men of God, read on,
spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
So these men wrote the Bible. Your ancestors, believe it or not, actually wrote this book, given to them by the Most High God. And on the point, what you said,
because we gonna go at this all day. I'm gonna pause it because You don't know
hold on,
we
brother.
passionate.
Come on,
Hold on,
man.
brother. Hold on, brother. Don't let it take you away, brother.
Yeah, we didn't take it away because that still ain't the original.
Madness. Read this. Read this. Just keep this. Jake, man. Read this. Psalms 12 and 6.
This Psalm chapter 12 and verse 6. The words of the Lord are pure words, and silver tried in a furnace, of earth, purified 7 times.
The Lord said that this book is true words that's been purified 7 times. 7 is a number of completion. You know how many councils this book has been through? You know what I mean? We was just going into it last night. The Codex Sinaiticus and all these different, you know how many, the Greek Septuagint, the Latin Vulgate, the Aramaic. You know how many times this book has been tested? And guess what? 7 times over, it's coming out that it's pure words. Hey, what's his nationality? Bangladesh. How you feel about slavery? How do you feel about slavery?
No, nobody is slave to nobody.
You said what?
Nobody is slave. Human are born free.
No, how do you feel about slavery? When you look up this sign and you see black people in slavery, how do you feel?
Nobody should be the slave.
Nobody should be the slave?
Yeah.
Did you know that your people had a hand in our slavery?
Sorry?
Did you know that your ancestors, they had a hand in our slavery?
I don't know about it.
Now, do you know what that means if your ancestors had a hand in our slavery?
No.
Let's get Job, right? Job 24 and 17.
Real quick, so you know Bangladesh, you would say you're East Indian, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so you ever heard of the Iranians? Who was Iran before they became the nation Iran? Who was they? Do you know about their history?
I believe in a creationism. So
No, hold on, I asked you that.
Human race.
Hold on, I asked you that.
No
Hold on, I asked you that. I said, who were the Iranians before they became the country Iran?
What was the capital?
They was Persians.
Yeah.
The Persians had the Jews in slavery. You can read that in Esther.
The thing is,
No, hold
human
on.
beings are
Did the
children of
Persians
Adam.
have
Adam and Eve.
did the Persians
There's
have
no
the
difference
Jews in
between
slavery?
humans.
Did the
No
Persians
man-
have
Hold on, real quick now. We hear what you're saying, but answer the question real quick. Did the Persians, the Persian Empire, the Ottoman, the empire, that they had the Jews in slavery? When y'all conquered the land, right? Did y'all conquer the land of Israel as well?
Yeah.
So your people had my people in slavery.
Nationalism is a disease.
Read this. So before
I believe in single
that, it's not
human
about what you believe, it's about facts. So for your ancestors having my ancestors in slavery, this is the judgment for your people. Read this.
This is the book of Job, chapter 27 and verse 14. If his children be multiplied,
Because your ancestors, obviously, they multiplied, they had children, and you're the descendants of their children. So since they multiplied and now you're here, read on.
it is for the sword.
What's this letter N?
It is for the sword.
What's this judgment?
It is for the sword.
You are only created to be killed. Are you created for Christ's sword? You know about Jesus Christ?
Who doesn't know?
So did you know that, hold on, did you know that Jesus Christ, give me Revelation 19 and verse 11. Did you know that Jesus Christ is actually coming back to kill you and your whole people? Who doesn't know that?
He'd be
Read
back.
this, read this.
Yeah,
So Jesus Christ is coming back, who's a so-called black man, to kill you and your whole race of people. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
My color complexion is neither white nor black. So I'm in the
Hold on,
middle.
answer the question.
So I
How do you,
support
hold
all
on,
the humans.
read this. Revelation 19 and verse 11.
This Revelation chapter 19 and verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True.
Hey brother, hey brother,
To get back to the work.
hey brother, 2 seconds, I got a question. 2 seconds, I guess I got one quick question.
One human race.
That's
it.
Esau.
Thank you.
Oh, all right, read on. Right, hey, you going into slavery, Elon or Ishmael, whatever he is. That's Elon. Read this. And that was an Edomite, that brother, so-called. Damn, that's a chocolate-covered devil. Read this.
And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
So the Lord had many crowns. When the Lord comes back, he's going to have many crowns, many bodies, many kingdoms that he's taken over. And one of those kingdoms is the so-called Ottoman Empire. You read that in the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter. All right, with the statue, how the rock came and smote the statue. All right, how the Lord's kingdom reigned forever and ever. Give me that in Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44. All right, Daniel 2, you can probably start at verse 40. All right, let's get that real quick. So the only kingdom, like how the brother was going into earlier, the only kingdom that will reign forever is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. All right, when the so-called black and Hispanics get right back into rulership and power, that will be the only kingdom that will reign forever and ever. All right, read this.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall be not left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
So when the Lord comes back, he's going to break in pieces and consume all kingdoms. That's right. All right, how do Christians break this down? All right, I thought, Jesus Christ, he coming back to save everybody. And they agree that in Daniel the 2nd chapter that rock is Christ. So how is it that he's coming back to break all kingdoms, but he's coming back to save everyone at the same time?
That's the good.
All right, that don't add up. It's either one or the other. So Christ, him being that rock, is coming back to break and destroy all kingdoms. And everyone knows the only way you can give me Sirach chapter 10. Sirach 10 and verse Sirach 10 and verse number 10. Start at verse 9. Right, the only way another kingdom can rise up into power is through war. It's after it takes down another kingdom. So Christ, Yahweh Shai, through war, is going to come back and destroy every kingdom that's on this earth. Russia, Babylon the Great, China, Japan, all these top kingdoms that's glorified and that's magnified, the Lord's going to come back with the host of heaven and destroy all this. All right, read that.
And it shall stand forever. Verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
He said that dream is certain and the interpretation thereof is sure. He didn't say, it's maybe a 50-50 chance it may come to pass. Might be 30-70 it may come to pass. No, he said that thing is sure. All right, Daniel had that dream. He broke it down to the king. And guess what? It's going to be written and it will come to pass in due season. And Lord willing, we live in that time period where that dream will be fulfilled. All right, when we see the Lord come back and he break in pieces all these other kingdoms. Give me that in Psalms chapter 12, verse number 8.
And the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshiped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet orders unto him.
Right, so when Nebuchadnezzar heard that, then he fell down to Daniel. Right, yeah, he kissed the boot like the brother said. Daniel told him kiss the boy, he got down and he kissed the boot. Shivering in his knees, he probably envisioning it as Daniel breaking it down. Damn stomach getting tight, you got butterflies. Knowing that your whole kingdom and your descendants is going to get destroyed. That's a hell of a dream to get broken down to you. Alright, so read this what you got. Give me Psalms 2 and verse 8.
This Sirach chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sale. Because while he liveth, he casteth away his vow.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Verse 7. Pride is hateful before God and man, but by both doth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
And that kingdom is going to be translated from one people to another. From one rulership to another, from one kingdom to another, from one glory to another, and from one honor to another. Give me the classic in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, right in verse number 8. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8. So everyone knows, and if you don't know, do you know now? That the so-called white man, his kingdom and his rulership, is the last standing kingdom to reign before the so-called black and Hispanics come up into power. Just like the famous saying is, we got next. You so-called black and Hispanics, y'all got next. But y'all can only obtain that promise if you come back to your nationality. Right? Come back to keeping God's commandments. Come back to serving your true God. love your brother as you love yourself, keeping the laws, the ordinances, the statutes. These things are promised to the so-called black and Hispanics if you come back and serve your God. How you doing, sister? You see yourself on the sun? If you do, you will be God's chosen people. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Yeah, make that 180. Make that 180 and come look at the sign and see if you see yourself on it. If you don't, you can keep walking. But if you do, you know you got to give us some of your time. So when you look at the sign, you see a so-called race. Where you see it at? This one right here. You see it say on the top, a so-called American black, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, etc. You see a so-called race on the sign. What this word will call you? Where you see it at? Point it out. Or say it. Would you be a so-called American black? African American? You say none? You say none? So what would this world call you? If you was to go and sign a job application, you have to fill out which race you were. You know, which race would you sign up? Just none? You said black, African American? So according to the Bible system, you would be an Israelite. You ever heard about the Israelites? You been to church before? Now in church, you know, they teach the Bible. You believe in the Bible? So in the church, they've never taught you that you were the Israelites, God's chosen people? They have? In church, they taught that you was God's chosen people? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. So what you're going to come to find out is that you will actually be a princess walking this earth. Give me 1 Peter, I believe, 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Your ancestors, you really come from a rich heritage. When you look at these other races, they make it sound like that they come from rich heritage. Got the so-called white man, his ancestors, Alexander the Great, Leo Scipius Africanus, George Washington. They make their heritage sound like it's special, it's something. The so-called Chinese man, he got his different dynasties, the Tang dynasty, the Shang dynasty, Han dynasty. When it comes to the so-called black and Hispanics, what's your heritage? What's your dynasties? What's your kingdoms? What rulership or what landmass do we go back to when we ruled in peace? But guess what? The church, they never told us these things. According to the Bible system, you will actually be the people of the book, the Israelites. And I'm going to show you how important it is as an Israelite and how much weight that really holds. Read this, Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
This Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
The Lord said the Israelites, in actuality, are actually above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's deep. How many races do you have on this earth? You got a lot. You got the Japanese man, Chinese man, the Arab man, the East Indian man, the white man. The Lord said out of all nations, you'll be actually the top nation in his eyes, above all people of the earth. Give me Deuteronomy 32 and verse 10. And that's heavy, sister. The Lord didn't say that about the Chinese man. He didn't say that about the Arab man. He didn't say that about no other nation but your nation, your heritage. So give me 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 6. And again, according to the Bible, you will actually come from a bloodline of kings and princesses. You ever heard about Abraham and Sarah? Now Sarah had many children, right? She was the mother of many children. And that word Sarah, it means princess. So if you're a descendant of Sarah, then meaning you will be a descendant of a what? A princess. Let's read this.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, and verse, I'm starting at 5. For after this manner in old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
You got something called the holy women. The holy women are the women of Israel. Everyone on that sign, those would be the holy women. If you're a woman and you come from that seed line, read on.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Sarah, that will be your ancestor, your foremother. All right, read on.
Obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are.
Whose what?
Whose daughters ye are.
The Lord said you will actually be a daughter of Sarah. And again, Sarah, that word goes back to princess. You will be a daughter of a princess, according to your seed line. That's not us being nice. That's not us just wanting to compliment you. The Lord said that out the Bible that you will be a descendants of that. So let's get Deuteronomy 32 and verse 10. And right now we're showing you how important it is and how special it is for you to be God's chosen people, an Israelite. She's not an Israelite. She's a so-called white woman. She has no hope. She has no soul, no life, no enthusiasm, no flavor. But again, you look at everyone on this side. These are the people that the Lord blessed and chose for himself. Read this.
This Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
So the Lord said, Jacob, which are the Israelites, you are really the lot of the Lord's inheritance. Read on.
Verse 10. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye.
The Lord said that you're the apple of his eye. Now, knowing that you're an Israelite, God's chosen people, the best people upon the face of the earth, why did this happen to us? Right? If we some, magnificent people, some holy people, why did slavery happen to us? All right, rape, rob, murder, castration, killings, death. Why did that happen to us? Can you answer that? And that's the thing, sister. You said you've been going to church. Church has never taught us that, one, we were God's chosen people that you read about in the Bible. Nor have they told us the state that we're in is actually written of in the Bible. Now give me Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. Now the Lord, he blessed us with gifts and promises. The Lord blessed us with something, what modern day, the Lord blessed us with a cheat code. The Lord gave us the cheat code of life. You know what that cheat code is? That cheat code is what you read as God's commandments. The laws, the statutes, and the commandments. Again, if we're some holy people, of course he would give us ordinances on how to move as holy people, how to act as a holy people, what things we should eat as us being a holy people. And those things come with a heritage. So we're going to read about the things that we fell from. And after we read it, I want you to answer me, how do we get back up from that state that we in? All right, let's read this.
This Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Remember, keep in mind that the Lord is talking to the Israelites. He's talking to our ancestors. The people are the book of our ancestors, your ancestors. Read on.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So the Lord commanded us statutes and commandments for what?
For thy good.
For our good. So the Lord, he commanded us to keep certain commandments. You heard about the 10 commandments, right? You heard about love your neighbor as you love yourself. These are commandments that the Lord gave to the children of Israel. The Lord said, if you keep these commandments, if you keep these things, you will never fall. It's 2 Peter 1 and verse 10. So us keeping these commandments is us coming back to our Lord. Us being kings upon the earth. Like King David, King Solomon. These were righteous men. And these men, they ruled over kingdoms. Solomon had 40 years of just peace, no war. David was killing the enemies and ruling our ancestors, the children of Israel, in righteousness. Why? Because they kept God's commandments. So if we keep the commandments and we prosper, then what happens when we don't keep the commandments? We go into slavery. We fall. So the question is, sister, if we want to get back up into society, if we want to raise back up to that nation that we once were, what must we do? What must we keep that we just read? You said what? Yeah, we got to keep the faith. But we also have to keep the commandments as well. So keeping God's commandments is what's going to get us everlasting life, rulership, preeminence, glory. So I'm going to read you 3 commandments as an Israelite. And I want to ask you if you're able to keep these 3 commandments, if they're hard, or if it's just, something simple. Let's get Leviticus chapter 11. And let's get Leviticus 19 verse 26. All right, let's read this.
This Deuteronomy chapter 14, start at 7. Verse 8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you.
What is swine? You said what? Yeah, you know what swine is? Swine is another word for a pork or a pig. So the Lord said, and the swine, read that again.
And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. It is unclean unto you.
The Lord said pig is actually unclean unto you. Did you ever hear that before? How people say, or grandmothers may say it's not good to eat pork, may be bad for you. Guess what? God told us that all the way during the time of Moses. So believe it or not, it's actually a sin to eat pork. Read on.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
Not only is it a sin to eat it, but it's a sin to even touch the dead carcass of a pig. That makes sense? So according to the Bible system, you can't be eating pork. You eat pork bacon, pig bacon? What kind of bacon you eat? Beef bacon, oh that's good. Take away that pork bacon, you got chicken bacon, you got beef bacon, turkey bacon, and you even got lamb bacon. You ever heard of lamb bacon? You gotta get into that lamb bacon system. Alright, that beef bacon, that tastes better than the pork bacon. That's right, Lord, lamb according to the Bible, that's a clean meat. Hey, that's one of the main meats that the Israelites ate, our ancestors. They read about the Passover, we ate the lamb. Right, we was getting down with the lamb. So read on. So it's a sin to eat pork according to the Bible. Are you willing to put down pork forever for the Lord? You said what? Yes. All praise to the Most High. No more damn hog maw, pig feet. Yeah, baconators. No more bacon bits on a salad. None of that.
Real quick, when you look into, you gotta look, because your father's a so-called black man, right? You gotta remember in the slave trade, what do they feed our forefathers? They fed them slops, pig knuckles, pig tail. That's why we eat those things and think it's good, because that was forced on us in slavery. If you were a princess, if you were like Sarai or Shara in the Hebrew, princesses don't eat. We can eat pork, pig, we eat great lamb. Lamb good, bro. Like you eat it, bro. Beef, chicken, you know, you feel lighter. Pork put a spirit on you. You kind of eat pork, and you just end up on social media for 12 hours. You eat pork, you're just in the world. You know what I mean? It's just not the same.
Right, yeah, you know, that pork can put a spirit on you, like the brother said. You start getting mad for no reason. Want to fight people. Yeah, you get hangry. Brothers got done eating 5 packs of pork bacon. That's why you acting like that. Yeah, extra grease. Make sure you dipping it back in the grease. You putting the grease that's in the pan. That's why pork got all that nasty grease in it. It got certain parasites that just don't burn out. You know. Yeah, clog up your damn veins. Yeah, you know, so that pork can jam you up. So for that reason, the Lord said, since I love my people, I'm going to tell them not to eat pork because I made it and I know what it could do to them. Now these other nations, he didn't get that commandment to. So-called white men can eat pork if he wants to. The Lord don't care about him. If he died from high cholesterol, so what? Alright? It is what it is. But you and us, the Lord says, since y'all are chosen people, a separate people, from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, a holy nation, y'all don't touch that pork. So that's one commandment. Read on.
Verse 9, these ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
So the Lord said, and whatever come out the waters, if you want to eat it, it has to have both fins and scales. What's some fish that come out the waters with both fins and scales? Yeah, like what fish in the waters? It has both fins and scales. Well, catfish have fins, but they don't have scales. What fish have both fins and scales? For example, like salmon. Like salmon, they got fins and scales. You got trout, fins and scales. Red snapper, bluegill. Alright, certain tunas have fins and scales. But like catfish, it doesn't have both fins and scales. So we're going to see what the Lord says if it doesn't have both fins and scales. Read on.
Verse 10, and whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat.
So if it don't got fins and scales, you cannot eat it. Right?
Okay, that's cool.
So if it don't got fins and scales, you can't eat it. For example, shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, everything that's magnified in America, the wicked things, the Lord said don't eat it. Don't you see how it's weird how everything the Lord said don't eat, America promotes? Like for example, the bacon. Lord said don't eat bacon. For some reason you got bacon that's sold everywhere. Yeah, it's the top selling meat. They're not selling lamb like that. They're not selling bison like that. Venison. You know, America used to be filled with all type of bison and venison and elk and deer. Where's all the deer at? We're not eating deer in the grocery store. Those clean meats, those lean meats. But what, they give you that pork. Trying to get you all fat, and they really trying to get you to sin against your God. So for that reason, the Lord said, if it come out the waters, it has to have both fins and scales. So all the shrimp, crab, and lobster, you can't eat it. All right. You said what? You ever did that seafood boil? You ever did that seafood boil? Yeah, you know, no more seafood boils. Alright, no more mukbangs. You got the beard bone and that nasty plastic bag, and you cracking it, and you slurping all the nasty meat out with the butter right there.
Okay, I get you.
Can't do that. He got one. I'll get you next.
You know what crabs are, right? You know what they compare them to on the land? You know what it is.
Yeah, I do, but they good though.
No. So you will pick up a spider and be like, "Oh, let me boil this. It's good though." What if it tastes good? What if it tastes good? You not gonna do that? So why you doing it if it's in the water? They call crabs sea spiders. You know that, right? Okay.
Don't do it. Real quick, just give you some wisdom. You got to think about this, right? God made everything. He made the good and the evil of almost everything. Good, evil humans, good, evil sea creatures, good, evil plants, right? If you would look at anything that's armored, spiky, bulky, you probably shouldn't eat it. You know what I mean? Crab is an armored bug. Why would I eat that? You know what I mean? Just like me seeing a bunch of thorns around a bunch of fly traps. You know, the little bug that eat bugs. Why would I eat that if it's trying to be a predator? Even when you look in the Bible, we don't eat predators. We eat goat, ox, sheep, kind. You know, we eat things that are prey. We're not eating praying mantises and and mountain lions. Right? We eating prey. Because that's what God was giving it to us as a prey. So, you know, the spawn, the crabs are crustaceans, the arthropods. They both have 4 legs on each side. Just like the spider has 4 legs on each side. They both have exoskeletons. So they're bugs. It's like a lobster and a scorpion. Just like a shrimp and a roach. That's right. These things are all the same thing.
And yeah, for example, you know, when you go to the so-called Chinese restaurant, they cooking you cat, rat, dog, but they season it. They tell you it's chicken. You know, you may eat it, may taste good. Then when you find out it's not really what it is, you spin it out. You're not going back there no more. Same thing with the unclean animals. When we really find out what it is, imagine these things are the cleaners of the sea. Alright, all that poop that whale is pooping and all these fish that's pooping, who be cleaning it up? The shrimp, the crabs, the lobsters, they eating all that feces up. And guess what you eating? The same thing that they ate. Eating damn shark feces, thinking it's shrimp. What you think that line is in that shrimp is? It's not a vein, sister. They say everyone says it's a vein. That little line in that shrimp, it's not a vein, sister. That's poop. What type of food do I want to eat, and before I eat, I gotta wipe it like it's a damn infant? No, that's off. That in itself should tell you I probably shouldn't be eating. It still got, it didn't finish doing what it was doing. So for that reason, sister, you want to put down all abominable foods, the shrimp, the crab, the lobster, etc. You willing to do that for the Lord and never eat it again? All praise to the Most High. Give it up for the sister. Give it up for the sister. Right? So, also, now remember, because you can't eat those foods, it's still clean fish that you can eat. You can eat the salmon, alright, the perch, the red snapper. It's a lot of clean fish that we can eat. You can fry it, bake it, cook it. We the Israelites. We do everything the best. Alright, we can make nothing into something. So how much more with the clean meats that the Most High has already provided us? You got a point?
One last thing, you have to kill lobsters and crabs alive. You can't even eat it in a normal state.
Yeah. I was watching a video not too long ago. They said if you want to eat a crab, you gotta kill it as soon as possible. Right after you kill it, you gotta start cooking it. Because if you wait too long, the toxins that come out the crab, it can kill you. So if you wait too long, then them toxins it's all jammed. That's why they don't sell it in stores. Or you never go to the grocery store and see crab in the frozen section. Because by that time, all the toxins that's overtaken his body and it's become poisonous. I'm not going to eat something where you can't sit in the freezer. Right, if it's in the freezer for 2 days, now it's poison. That's all. You know, so for that reason, God knows what he made. He made that to clean the ocean. Not for us to put it in our bodies. And like the brother said, you being holy, you shouldn't have put the foul things into a holy temple, which ye are. Let's get Leviticus 19 and verse 26.
And also overseas, they count pufferfish as a delicacy. Now, pufferfish, if you don't cook it the right way and you eat it, it can kill you because it's poisonous on the inside.
Yeah, that's all. So read this.
11 what? The book of Leviticus, chapter 11. So, 11:26. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 26.
It's like 19 and 26. Leviticus 19 and verse 26.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 26. And it reads, ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment.
This is another commandment. Now the first commandment was the seafoods and the meats, the no pork, no shrimp, crab, and lobster, shellfish, etc. That's an easy commandment we can keep. The Lord has created so many clean animals. You have a feast and righteousness of what you can eat. So that's easy, right? That ain't nothing hard. That is some more commandments. The second one. All right, the Lord has given us certain instructions on how to move as a holy people. So read this again.
Leviticus to the 11th and verse 26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood.
Right, you know how the so-called white man, he cooking his steak and he put it on the commercials and cut the meat down the middle and it's all red on the inside and they squeeze it together and all the blood dripping out. The Lord said, don't eat anything with the blood. So when you eat your food, you want to have it well done. Not medium rare, not rare. Again, and that's a lot of us. That's just in our spirit. You know, so-called white men, you know they love blood. They devour everything. Even when they eat, they damn eating raw meats. I seen the video of a so-called white man. He was eating, I believe it was some meat. He was just eating it raw. Talking about, okay, well this is all the protein. If you don't cook it, that's all the protein. It's all natural. That's wicked. And they notice how they don't get sick off of that. Because they're not God's chosen people. You try doing that. Watch how you start getting a stomach virus and going to the bathroom. Damn, yeah, parasites only. That's how you know that the Lord created us to be different. Who did he create to be different in the Bible? The Israelites. Read on.
Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment, nor observe times.
So no observing times, meaning horoscope. Right, I'm a Pisces, I'm a Libra, I'm a Sagittarius. That's what you call observing times. That's actually a Babylonian custom. That's the Egyptian custom. To look up at the stars and you're basing your emotions upon the stars and the constellations. When you do that, that's called idolatry. The Lord said don't do that. You ever got into that? I'm a Pisces, a Libra, the horoscope stuff? You used to? Well, you want to stay away from that. All right, since when did, the constellation of the stars determine how you feel? And determine who you, marry? You got some people, they just ruin their whole life goal and ruin their whole future because the Lord sent them someone. And because they was a damn Libra, they rejected them. This man was making $100,000 a year. All right, he had his own house, had things going for himself, had his own business. He come in and try to talk to the sister. The first question she asked him is, what's your sign? He said, Cancer. She said, I'm not dealing with that. And then guess what? For the rest of her life, she's single. Because that was the only chance where she got to get a God-fearing man. So the Lord not dealing with that. All right, the Lord is dealing with serving him only, not basing your emotions upon what way the damn stars is aligned up. So read on.
Look at Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 20.
And remember, these are all easy commandments. This is nothing impossible. All right, read on.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you.
The Lord said,
nor print any marks upon you.
No print marks upon you.
Nor print any marks upon you.
So the Lord said, don't print any marks upon you. What does that sound like? To print a mark upon you. tattoo. Now, you got a tattoo, and we see it's a couple brothers up here as well that got tattoos. Because just like you, sister, at one point in time, we didn't notice. We didn't just come out the womb, not eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, and just say we're perfect. No, we made mistakes. Even to this day, some of us, we still may slip up once in a while. But according to the Bible, it is a sin to not get a tattoo. So even though you have a tattoo, you have a beautiful word called repentance. You can ask the Lord for forgiveness, admit your faults, and never do it again. You know, it's a lot of brothers that's up here that got tattoos. They read that verse, and they never got them again. Why? Because we know how holy we are, and God gave us commandments. You only got one? See, that's good. You know, a lot of people, they done got their whole body damn tatted. Right, brother? Yeah, tattoo their face. Hey, look at that. And that brother was off. If he was walking past us and he didn't have those, and he didn't have those fringes on, hey, we damn near, hey sister, probably would have beat him in righteousness and told him, brother, you can't be doing that. Why? Because that's love. Same thing what we doing to you. We're showing you love by chastising you through the word and showing you how that would actually be a sin. And you can't get no more tattoos. You know, tattoos go back to the Egyptians. The same people that wash up cow piss. Same people that put that big ring in their lip. The same people that's in the high level of homosexuality. The so-called Egyptians, the Africans, they're into that. Again, we're a holy people. This body is not ours, it's the Lord's, so we can't defile the Lord's temple. That makes sense? So no more tattoos, alright? All praise to the Most High. We doing?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
And that's plain. No prostitution. No having your daughter go out and, you know, do things for money. Let's just do something strange for a piece of change. Lord not dealing with that. So no doing anything strange for no change, alright? That's good. We got jobs up here. We're God's chosen people. We're a holy nation. Now it's the last commandment. This book has over 600 commandments. We're only going to give you a couple. Again, the shrimp, crab, and lobster. Alright, the pork can't do that. The tattoos can't do that. Right? The idolatry and the star worship can't do that. It's the last commandment we're going to give you for today. Read this.
This Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
The Lord said a man can't wear what a woman wears. That would be a sin. What is that? If a man puts on a woman's garment, what does that sound like? A woman's garment. That would be like a dress, a tutu, a skirt. Those would be considered women garments or women clothing. The same way how it will be a sin for women to put on a man's garment. What is a man's garment? What's something that pertains to men, that men wear? Yeah, what else? Shorts, you know, you got it. Some specific. You know what, brother? Brother with the white hat. You know what's something that pertains to men? You know something that pertains to men and clothing? And clothing. What pertains to men when it comes to clothing? If women have the dresses, what do men wear?
I'm definitely one here.
Alright, so it's a saying. The men wear the blank in the house. The pants. So it would be a sin according to the Bible for men to wear dresses and for women to wear pants. That's right. According to the Bible, that would actually be a sin. That's out of Deuteronomy. That's out the law. That's out God's holy law that He commands forever and ever in Baruch 4:1. So according to the Bible, sister, you being a princess, have you ever seen a princess in booty shorts? Bible shorts? You seen a princess in booty shorts? What was the name of that princess? What time period did she live in? Alright, what empire was she under?
Never seen it.
You never seen a princess in booty shorts? They got that movie, Princess and the Frog. A so-called black woman who's a princess. There's no scene of her wearing skinny jeans, tights, throughout the whole, leggings. Throughout the whole movie, even when she was a frog and she damn transformed, she transformed with a dress on. So even in the movies, they tell you that a princess always wears a dress. You got the mighty examples to my left and to your right hand side, other sisters wearing the dresses. That will be modest, glorious apparel. Give me Judges, not Judges, Judith, chapter 15 and 1. I got 2 more precepts before we pass.
I got a favorite in the Bible. It's one of my favorites. It's Psalms 119:65. Those that read the law should have great peace. There should nothing cause them to stumble.
That's right, brother. See that the laws. We're just talking about the laws and the commandments, right? The laws, brother, that's what we're talking about. God's holy law. So you on fire. You're really on fire, brother. I like it. Read this. Judith chapter 15, verse 1.
This Judith chapter 15 and verse 1.
Addition to Esther. Right, Esther. Addition to Esther chapter 15 and verse 1. I'm going to read you this quick verse. So, even when you read the Bible, our ancestors, your foremothers, they wore dresses. Why? Because back then, the only difference was they knew that they were Israelites. This was before we came to America and got our nationality beaten out of us. Before that, you knew you were speaking in Hebrew. You knew that you came from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, King Solomon, Jeroboam, Asa, Hezekiah, Josiah, Ahab, all these different men and women, Judith, Esther, Sarah, and all these seed line of righteous women. You knew that at one point in time. So they kept these heritage and these laws. And we're going to show you proof that your foremother actually knew that she was a princess and kept this law. Read this.
This additions to Esther chapter 15 and verse 1. And upon the 3rd day, when she had ended her prayers, she laid away her mourning garments and put on her glorious apparel.
She put on
her glorious apparel.
No booty short.
Her glorious apparel.
So Esther, she had on glorious apparel. She was a princess under the Persian Empire, the Achaemenid Empire. We read this. And her being a princess under this big empire, that glorious apparel, again, it wasn't just booty shorts. It wasn't a thong. She had on a nice dress, probably had the earrings and the jewels and the chains and these different things. Read on. It's going to show you that. Read on.
And being gloriously adorned, after she had called upon God, who is the beholder and savior of all things, she took 2 maids with her, and upon the one she leaned, as carrying herself daintily, and the other followed, bearing up her train.
She had her maids with her. One maid, she was holding her hand and walking. The other maid, it was bearing up her train. What's a train? Yeah, a train when it comes to a dress. What part of the dress is that? That's that long part. You know, the part when you like, you know, let's say you're getting married. That long part of the dress would be the train. So her other maid was walking behind her, carrying her train as she was walking to Xerxes. I believe that was Xerxes the first at this time. So even she knew that she was a princess walking this earth. She had on her glorious apparel. And you, being her descendant, you gotta carry yourself the same way. She was in slavery under the Persians just like how you in slavery under America. It's no difference. The only difference is she's keeping God's commandments. You got to keep God's commandments. At once upon a time, we didn't know. We read the Bible and we had to keep God's commandments. So according to the Bible, sister, are you willing to put on a dress or a skirt modestly for the rest of your life? You are? Not for one day. Not for a week. All right, all praise to the Most High. Give it up for the Most High. All right, give it up for the Lord. So the next brother, sister, is going to show you how to furthermore increase in knowledge and understanding. All right, give me Baruch 4:28. All right, Baruch 4:28. Let's read this real quick. And the next brother is going to bring it out mightier than I ever could. Read this.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 28. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
The Lord said,
seek him 10 times more.
Have fast.
Seek him 10 times more.
Be weary.
Seek him 10 times more.
Read.
For he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation.
Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala.